Each of us have been at this for more than 20 years, and we're tired. Tired of hearing people think that they have no hope, no future, and that they will simply sit in their cubicles and survive working in IT. Well, we're here to tell you right here, right now, that you can thrive in IT, and we are going to prove it.
Bringing you great stories
About great people in information technology.
that it turns out are just like you. Welcome to THRIVEcast.
All right. Well, welcome everyone to THRIVEcast. We're back. And let's just say that thoughts about there were rumors. And let me just say right now, let me just clarify this here. Oh, yeah. So sound not so much, but we were on a break. And now it's playing automatically. Give me a moment. Yeah. Okay. Right on. We got technology. We know how to do this stuff. Welcome back to THRIVEcast. My name is DJ Eshelman, and with me today is my co-host Jeff Pitsch. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well. As you can see, it's getting dark in my office for some reason. So I think what's happening is I'm going goth without even knowing it. So yeah, lighting, bizarre, seemed to be a problem. One thing I do want everyone to say hi because I just had to pick them up off the floor. This is Dust
very
Puppy.
nice.
Dust Puppy. If
Wow.
anyone knows the online comic strip this was from, stuff was great.
In fact, I wonder if I can bring that up. I've got a limited edition.
You got the book?
they did. No, but I do have the unlimited edition print of oh gosh, it was like right after 9/11, and they did that commemorative thing, which I thought was kind of nice of them. So I think they're up in Canada, I think, but
I forget what it was called though. The comic.
Wow. Well, you got me stumped on that one.
Userfriendly.org.
Put me on the spot.
Userfriendly.org.
20 years ago, Jeff.
It wasn't 20.
No, you're right. It wasn't. It was 25.
Shush. No way. No.
Oh yeah.
What?
Yeah, that would have been late 90s with user friendly. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. 90. This is marked 99.
Yeah, there you go. Okay. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. That classic.
I think I need to go out to the pasture and the farmer needs to take care of me. My God.
Well, so we're back. we took a break. We were on a break. Sound or no sound. That was the thing.
That's the other thing. We had to pivot.
Yeah. So, well, first let me put this on, just so people can do this. Yes. The boys are back.
Don't make me start singing.
Esther, we missed you too.
Esther, we missed you.
And Warren, I don't know what happened. Warren. Yeah, he says, bring back DJ. Who's the old guy with the beard? That'd still be DJ. Actually, the funny thing is we should put a side-by-side picture, Jeff, of of me, like when I started the show and when not, because the beard had less gray in it. Hair was not quite this long. It was like about yay.
Oh, Nick, believe me, you don't want it.
Nick wants to sing. Okay. I tell you what, Nick, if you want to join us, you can sing. So if you guys want to join us in the studio live today, we've got that capability. Just go to thriveit.com/join us live. If you're viewing this after the fact in the recording, it's not going to work. We can't go back in time. If I could turn back time, if I could find a way, I'd take back those words that have hurt you, and you'd say, join us live in the studio right now.
No, what they would say is, we were on a break.
We're on a break.
By the way, I'd like, a special hello to Warren, especially because he will be the first guest of season 2 next week.
That's right.
Follow up
to
his first, which also means he will be the first person to be on twice.
Right.
So,
I mean,
a lot of firsts.
Yeah. It's a lot of firsts. Yeah. That's been a lot of fun to hear from Warren. I've got Esther coming in. Hello, Esther.
Oh boy.
Have you back.
Hi, guys.
There's the lady that never sleeps.
Yep.
It's the stroopwafels. They keep you up, don't they?
Well, now it's the stroopwafel liquor, but that's a whole different story.
Seriously?
Yes.
Wow.
So Warren wonders, first person to cry twice. No,
I believe that's Jen.
Yeah. Or I guess technically we didn't actually make Mark Templeton cry. This is a first for me, not making him cry twice. Let's put it that way. Yeah.
What do you do? Kick him hard every time you see him or something?
I have that effect. I don't know why.
Or is it because it's like
just a sneaky
God,
pinch. That's all. Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Esther, how are you?
I'm doing great. It's been very busy times, but other than that, I do feel like there's this whole new wave of hope and excitement about getting vaccinated and seeing opportunities rise again to hopefully start traveling and start meeting up with all the people that, especially the community that I miss so much. The cats, the ability to look each other in the eye and just have a laugh and just,
I'm looking at you in the eye. Are you looking at me?
Oh yes, definitely. But it's just that little blinking light that stares back at me that sometimes freaks me out. But other than that, I'm perfectly happy.
Somebody built a prototype, says they're not going to sell it, but it's an eye, it's a camera, but it's an eye, and it will move on its own and blink, and it's really creepy looking is what it is.
I'm creeped out just how you describe it, but
I just, there's no way I could stare at that thing and be acting normal with it. It's like a
I would
movie.
probably just have flashbacks of Monster Inc. and that green eye bubble with the 2 feet. Yeah.
So how are vaccinations going in the Netherlands?
Not so good. So for us, it's still it's still 60 plus that is being vaccinated right now, and special cases. So people with Down syndrome, people that are flagged by medical staff as being obese. I guess fortunately I was flagged as being obese, so I do get the luxury of getting my first vaccination this Sunday. So I'm very fortunate to basically be pushed forward. So, because I think most of us will have to wait around summertime to get in line for vaccinations.
I think it's funny. I think what you should do is just point and just go, "Oh, you skinny people! I can go outside before."
Well, there was this whole discussion going on that apparently with the AstraZeneca vaccinations, there's a chance to get thrombose, or a higher chance to get thrombose. So at first we were supposed to be vaccinated by our doctors, and they had to put a full stop on that. So basically I went through the whole emotional roller coaster that I thought I had a shot at getting vaccinated early, and then felt like all that hope that comes with that was taken away because they didn't provide any alternative. They basically said, well, either you accept the risk yourself, and it felt like signing a paper to waiver all my medical care, basically. I'm not sure if that was the case, but it felt like that. And then I was very fortunate that just before I had to make that tough call, am I going to be vaccinated with a higher risk of getting complications from the vaccination, or do I decline this option and have to get back in line, so to speak, and just wait for summer like everyone else? And then, fortunately, just a day before I was supposed to get vaccinated, I was offered an alternative. So I'm getting an alternative vaccine this Sunday. So that feels like a really golden ticket, so to speak.
So do you know which one it's going to be? Yeah. Is it like Pfizer? Is it the Pfizer or?
Yeah, it's going to be Pfizer.
That's what I had. Don't pay any attention to my post that you see about the after effects.
I'm just hoping that it feels like a high, like a rush.
It's a great feeling, but I mean, from an expectation standpoint, I would not plan on doing a ton on Monday. Just
that's
forewarning. I mean, it's basically, for me, it was like, okay, I've got the flu, some aches, pains, body aches, body pains. So I stayed in bed, slept most of the day. Next day, boom, right back on top. So
okay, so that's manageable.
Nothing lasting. No.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
But basically, I was gonna focus on you being back live in the air and being our friendly living room, workroom buddies again. So
yeah, we're excited. We're excited.
How did the break work out for you? Did you miss us? Well, you said you missed me, but did you miss all of us?
We miss everybody. We miss everybody. I mean, it's because right now this is the interaction we have. I mean, not that we don't get into meetings with other people and everything, but that's typically business. And these are a lot of fun, and it does help people. We get that feedback. They like it. So it's great to be back.
Yes, I definitely marked it. Yeah. Well, I marked it in my calendar to make sure that I stayed up for you guys, to welcome you back, and to let you know that you were missed, and that I'm really looking forward if you can give us any teasers or spoilers about what season 2 has in store for us.
DJ, you want to start that one?
We could. Yeah. So there's a couple things that we've been talking about. First off, we're kind of like, after at this year, we're kind of starting to look more at like, okay, who are we really? Like what kind of a vision do we have? And so one of the things that we're definitely going to do more of is more just straight content along with these interviews and things like that. So we've mentioned in previous videos that we have 4 key areas that we feel kind of encompass, Thrive IT, and that kind of really go around your career development and that sort of thing. And so your methods, your mindset, your methods are kind of methodology, that sort of thing, and mindset is how you think about the world, and then your I put myself on the spot there. I didn't even think about this question very much, but your mindset, method. The other M's. See what I did to myself here? So
basically, I put you on the spot.
Yeah,
so.
no, it's quite all right. So mindset, methods, your mastery, which is kind of your skill sets, getting those done, and then mentoring is the other one.
Oh, awesome!
And meatballs.
That's the most important one.
I like it.
Yeah, I mean,
as long as it's not referring to the meatball scenes in Lady and the Tramp,
right?
Then I'm perfectly fine with that. Though I do like spaghetti, to be honest.
Well, yeah. See, that's just it.
So
we like spaghetti, but do we have to have all this fuss about it? But
so I think that's a big piece of some of the cornerstone content that we're going to be developing and delivering. We're also kind of be looking for some ways to go beyond just the tech talk. This is especially inspired out of all the conversations we've had with you and others, especially with Mark Templeton on episode.
Oh, that was an awesome episode.
Yeah, so we got to thinking about, what if our platform could be somewhere where companies could show the other side of what they do, especially after talking to Jed Ayers of iGel and the things that they're doing for Earth Day that they just did, things like that. Just like, let's stop talking about your company for a second, stop the sales pitches, all that kind of stuff, just for a moment, and let's talk about the other kind of things you're doing in the world. And so we would love to be a platform for that. So we're going to be inviting some folks to do that, we think. And then there's just some day-to-day stuff that we're talking about. I've gotten a lot of questions about ways to do investing and things like that. Like, okay, so I'm making all this money as an IT person. What do I do with it for the long term? That sort of thing, getting those questions. So we'll talk. I get the question all the time about cryptocurrency and the kind of things that I've been doing there. So we'll have that discussion. And then time management is another thing that I've had.
That's my struggle.
Well over 6 people at this point all bring up to me that the time management is something. So I'm going to be putting forward together probably a series on time management and kind of how you can kind of create your own strategy and what I do, that sort of thing. So that's one thing. We're going to be looking at. So
that's going to be like a mini master class kind of thing, or?
Yeah. Think of it that way. Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out where to sign up.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm trying to figure out where to send you, but we'll do that. So y'all make sure you subscribe on that little button down below so you know when we do that. And that's
well, and I think there's not with Australia. There we go. There. I covered us there. Thank you, Warren, for asking. So it's, I think a thing to keep in mind too is that it's falling under the Thrive IT umbrella. DJ and I, we've talked through various things, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but we want to keep this live broadcast, THRIVEcast, essentially the same it is. I mean, obviously there's going to be tweaks and things that we do. But you're going to see more content under the Thrive umbrella, which is going to be just absolutely great. Some of it will be very, more formalized, like DJ was saying, with the time management, and I've got some sales things that I'm working on. But it's, there's going to be some fun stuff too. Because work hard, play hard. In fact, the week in the US, Memorial Day is May 31st. Hint, that's my birthday, by the way. So big 50. So if anybody wants to, just send me presents, I'd be more than happy. No, yes, it is my birthday. It is the 50th.
So this is the moment where DJ just scrolls in your address, Jeff.
Yeah, I was gonna say, we're going to post it online for the world, man.
But you know what? Go to jeffpitch.com. It's all right there. So actually, I don't know the address is there. My phone is there. But above and beyond that, that week, so there's a day off. It's actually Memorial Day in the US. So it's a holiday. So we got 4 days, and there's a lot of people going to be on vacation, taking the week off, things like that, especially since that is kind of the official start of summer for the US. So DJ and I have decided that instead of doing an interview, we're going to stream some gaming that we're going to do. So you're going to see a couple of old guys going back in time. See, you say we can't time travel, but we're going to with video games, and we're going to verse each other. So this is going to be fun.
It's going to be weird, but we'll see what we can do.
It'll be fun. So much fun.
So is it going to be like a guessing game? Do you remember this game? And then we have to all guess the name of the game, or
no, this is going to be like a Twitch stream type thing where
you're expecting us to basically
logistics.
So instead of Zoom bombing, where we're gonna game bombing you guys.
Yes.
Yep. So I think should we say what we're thinking of? I mean,
oh yeah. I mean,
So we're looking at doing for like a year now. So
we're talking about the original StarCraft.
Yeah, we'll do that. Command and Conquer, that whole series was remastered, so that's actually possible nowadays.
I started playing again.
Yeah,
I even have like the I have the Russian. I always call it the bear hat, but the fluffy one with the hammer and the
sickle. Yeah.
Sickle. Okay. I wasn't sure if that's the correct. Yes. So I have one of those hats, and I also had like more the paper folding sized one that you put on your hat.
Like the naval hats, like the English naval hats.
Yeah, correct. Something like that. So I have a Russian version of that one too, and I used to put it on and then just start playing Command and Conquer.
Yes.
Oh my God, we got to have her on, and you've got to wear that.
Yeah, that would be awesome. We're going to have to do this. Yeah,
it should be. Yes, I think I know where it is. It's hiding somewhere in the attic, but I can track it down.
Sorry, Roblox. I mean, which part of Roblox? There's like 50 billion different games people have done. Now we're going old school, man. StarCraft.
StarCraft is awesome.
I'm thinking Age of Empires. They just did a.
The remasters are all out. Yeah.
Oh no! I never got into that one, but
see, for me it's the opposite. I never got into Command and Conquer, but Age of Empires, StarCraft, Warcraft. I mean, obvious. Big
Warcraft! I played them all during at the university, so that was awesome.
Yeah.
And my boyfriend got me all excited about King's Quest and Space Quest and Police Quest. So not a lot of studying going on. Sorry, Mom. But it was fun times. Yes.
There's this game that I used to play in college. It was only on the Mac, so I don't know if there was ever a PC port. I think there might have been, but it was called Space Word Ho.
Oh, I never did that.
I remember the name. I don't think I ever played it.
No.
Oh, it was awesome. So that was another one that would be awesome to try a port for that or something like that.
Yeah, you know what I used to love are the old Sid Meier games. Like
I still Yeah, I still play Colonization.
Mm-hmm.
And then my girlfriend just walks by and she's going, "What are those 3 pixels?" And I'm saying, "Hang on, that's my world map."
Yeah.
I play Civ 6. I am totally and completely terrible at it.
Yeah. Well, Civ 6 is a little bit of yeah. It's a lot to manage.
Yes. And that's hard for me.
Well,
but you know what?
They kept nuclear Gandhi. So that's still
come on, Gandhi, let's nuke the world. But it is amazing how far like that has come. Civilization series. It is. There is a lot to manage in it, but on the same token, the depth and the breadth of everything you can do is just insane nowadays.
Yeah. So if you guys games that you guys want us to play, just put them in the chat, and we'll see those later. The comments or whatever.
Just already bring us back to memory lane.
Oh yeah, awesome. I mean, just like going back with things. I mean, there's some other things that are just kind of quasi-modern things that I'd love to do too. I have friends that we still play Sins of a Solar Empire, which didn't really catch on, but it's such an epic like galaxy, taking over the galaxy kind of thing. And it's
oh wow.
As real-time strategy goes, it's one of the big ones, but yeah.
Back in I'm going to really go old school. Back in the BBC days, BBCs. Remember those? Dial up. BBC, that's what they were, right? Not the British. The dial up things that you would go into and
BBS.
BBS.
Yeah. I was going to say, should I rescue him? Yeah, I guess I will. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bulletin board.
But you let me flounder. So that was good.
It's kind of fun.
Yeah. So BBS's, there was a space trading game or something in Trade Wars. I think it was Trade
something
Wars.
Like that.
Yeah. Trade Wars 2000 or something. My friends and I had mapped out the entire thing. So we knew where the choke points were, and we dominated on like a few of the BBSs around and everything. It was so much fun.
Oh man, now you got me looking. Well, and I think of like when I was in college, just playing games like Descent. But I'm wondering if like the X-Wing versus TIE Fighter. I know they did some.
Yeah, that's the one I played.
Oh no, Star Wars Squadrons. That's really
why
good.
I have.
Well, yeah. I'm thinking like old school though, because
yeah. X-Wing versus. Oh, I loved those games. Yeah, and X-Wing versus what was it? X-Wing versus TIE Fighter was the last one that was all multiplayer. I love. Yeah. Oh, I was on that as much as possible. That was great.
Yeah. So, fun fact that people don't always know about me is that I actually have written some Star Wars fan fiction. Quite a substantial amount, actually. I've never really published it. But a lot of that was like based on like scenarios that I made. I actually would run them in X-Wing versus TIE Fighter. Just to see how well they'd work. So this guy was an A-Wing pilot. The story goes that he's the one that helped develop the A-Wing and things like that. So all sorts of fun little research that all this stuff that got thrown out when the prequels came online. And then of course now everything's
no, it wasn't the prequels.
Oh no, for this story it was.
You mean I thought you were talking about the Disney getting rid of the EU.
So this would have happened right like actually the funny thing is Rogue One actually helped a little bit, but also hurt. It's kind of one of those things where I'd have to go in and adapt or just kind of leave it as is. But it's kind of a darker side. It's like the main character is from Alderaan and naturally goes like morally kind of downhill a little bit dealing with that. He also can't stand Princess Leia, which is I think hilarious.
Anyway, that will get you in trouble for sure. Yes.
Oh, there's everything gets me in trouble. I mean, I'm like, so Jeff, should we reveal the the theories, the fan theories about where we were.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, that cancel or culture canceled us.
Yep.
That one came up.
Because that's big nowadays in the U.S. especially is.
Yeah, that's right. There was a incident where we tried to do a follow-up of a Linus Tech Tips reaction video that live,
wow.
and the stream got shut down. So the other theory was that Linus canceled us.
Oh,
Thanks,
wow.
Linus. Yeah, no, that's a theory.
All the power to Linus.
Yeah. Fun fact. So with YouTube, you can see who's been searching for your content. And it turns out the number one search result for us right now is Sarah Butt, who apparently is the employee that of LTT that was involved in that video. So fun fact on that. That's kind of hilarious. But
thank you, Sarah, for making that video our number one.
Yeah,
by a long shot.
Like, so we wanted to do this, like, we had this idea way too late of like doing this
reaction
hazard, like, when we last saw like Jeff and DJ, do the flying car stuck in the air and just leave it there.
Because the idea was it's season 2. In between seasons, when you come back, you always have the previously on THRIVEcast.
Well, obviously the Dukes of Hazzard be looks like Jeff got himself pitched in the air.
We had lots of great ideas last night when we figured out, hey, we should do this. And there's just not enough time to pull all that.
Technology did not support those ideas. Okay.
Yeah. So the other one that
minor detail.
Yeah. So one of the things that I did put up on our website as a April Fool's joke was that that I'd gone into Dogecoin retirement because making millions off of Dogecoin. It was a theory, right? Yeah. No, that's.
Picture DJ on the beach somewhere.
Bought his own island.
Yeah. Doge Island.
Doggy Island. The other one was that we wasted away in obscurity because people weren't sharing our content.
That's a very plausible reason, to be honest.
YouTube said,
it's a little close to home.
Yeah, because now I understand why it was all dark in Jeff's office. He was still crying in a corner. Nobody loves that. Look, not another opportunity for shared content.
And actually, that was one of the ideas I had for like what happened was I was thinking like if you remember
Jeff,
the Blair Witch Project, at the end, the guy or gal in the corner as they run down into the basement and they find her. I was like, okay, that'd be great. I thought that'd be cool, but maybe we'll pull all this together someday.
Yeah, and we'll just call it Play Hard in Memory Lane. Nice.
Oh, well, the other thing is like that. That Jeff fired DJ and DJ fired Jeff. Playing on that whole.
Of course.
Thing.
There was like a huge fight between the two of you, and it's gonna take like forever. That's one of the reasons why I joined tonight, to make sure that
you're playing referee tonight.
Play referee.
Yes, just call me moderator. That's just fine.
Actually, in terms of, at some point we should go over like what videos were highest ranked, but the one where I talk about getting fired is actually number 3 as far as ranking goes. And so, so that would have been kind of funny. DJ got fired again.
So does that mean that's like the popcorn episode or?
Yeah. Just, yeah. We didn't talk about this, Jeff, yesterday, but I had the thing where, we could just say that we, instead of fired, we were hired, but I couldn't come up with who would be most ridiculous to think of going to work for, that would, I couldn't think of anybody that wouldn't offend someone. So
I was going to say, yeah, I have a couple of ideas that I'm not going to throw out there.
Well, for me, I mean, so this year is the first year I've ever given money to Apple for anything. And
You're not American then.
Hey, you know what? I feel ways about stuff, but Clubhouse is only on iOS. And so I was like, you know what? I was going to buy a new tablet anyway. So I just said, okay, fine. And bought a, bought an iPad Pro.
Peer pressure.
Right? I was like, oh.
I want to be with the cool kids.
Everybody was like, oh, DJ, you're missing out. You're not on Clubhouse. I'm like, that's not a good reason.
And suddenly it was.
But it has been fun though. To go on there and find more tech people than I thought on Clubhouse. So that's kind of fun. So we might do something with that later. We'll see. I don't know. I'm kind of back and forth on Clubhouse. It's kind of a great place to find people that want to sell you stuff. So, yeah. So in other words,
I just called that
Kickstarter. I want to sell people stuff all the time. I want to sell people stuff. I want to eat. I like eating.
What? Eating? Okay.
Oh, yeah. So we had some ideas, but unfortunately they were, like most things with us, it was too much in the moment. We're like, that'd be a lot, but we're going to try and get more better about,
Melissa's not on, is she? Because she will cut you down for that.
The other thing is, people have asked us for a podcast. And so we are going to start getting our content kind of put into that kind of format. I would have, but I was on a break. We were on a break. So yeah, that's coming up. We'll get that rolling. I'm sure by the time we actually roll the podcast, it'll probably be one of those things where we have to release like 2 episodes a week just to get caught up. But it's a good problem to have. So
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are any of I was going to say podcast, but that would be an insult. Gonna focus on why you weren't live for the last couple of weeks, months, or do you not feel like you have a need to explain that?
I think when we signed off after Mark, I thought, that we were pretty open. I mean, for me personally, it was just a lot of stuff going on personally. It just had to get my head on straight. I mean, really is what it came down to, and get some things under control. I mean, being unemployed for a year does that. And it was just kind of it was hitting a rough patch there for me. And truthfully, even just hitting the show once a week was difficult just because there was so much else going on. It's just like, I gotta be smiley and cheery and you know what I mean? But the great, and I do want to say this though, the great thing about doing this is if I came in really down feeling like I just don't want to do this tonight, I would leave going like, I want to do this for another 3 hours tonight. It was
so basically
or something. Yeah.
So basically the fear of it costing energy turned into the wonderful gift of giving energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, because for me, it was just not so much of the drain as much as it is. I just don't want to be in front of people. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's just I'm having a real bad time. My life is in disarray from, the professional perspective. But it's therapeutic, being open about it and what's been going on and stuff is remarkably therapeutic. It's why bother hiding it? I'm not ashamed. I'm not ashamed. With what happened at iGel, I will go down. It is not iGel's problem. It was one person I had a problem with. I still love iGel. I love Jed. I love Doug Brown. I mean, it's just all this stuff. But in the end, I don't like playing that game anymore. When you've got an employment gap, you gotta, get around it and do it. And it's like, you know what? I'm tired of playing the game. If people don't appreciate that, I'd rather be open and honest rather than dance my way around, why you were unemployed. I'm tired of it. Anybody can give an HR answer, but you know what? I mean, and I'm not saying like I'd go out and name names and, go into excruciating detail, but
no, but I don't think that's necessary as long as you just keep it to yourself or not to yourself, but you own it as your own story.
Yeah.
So you tell it from your perspective.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
Yeah, I just love you for doing that. And as Lady of the Lake also said, it's so special to see you be so open and honest about it and what it did with you. And to be honest about the fact that you don't always have the energy to be cheerful and to be extrovert and to send out energy and positive vibes to everyone else, while in the back of your head, that is not a reflection of your true feelings. So I really appreciate you just being real, simply put, because I don't think that is something that we allow a lot of the people in IT to be real. We still expect them to perform, basically, and to be happy about the job or the life you're leading, because you get to play with cool technology. While there are definitely so much things going on in the background that influence how you feel and how much energy you have to share with others. So
yeah, I truly do appreciate that from you, Esther, Lady of the Lake, everybody. And that's the other part of it too, is that knowing that me doing this and just laying it out there is hopefully helping somebody, even if it's one person or a group of people. We need to be more open about this stuff, just like you were saying. It doesn't do anybody any good. And and the other side of it too is that companies can find these videos now. Once it's on the internet, it's always out there. So I mean, and I have told people that, say, if you want to know about me, here you go here, and you can find out everything about me. I mean, it's just the way it is. Now, if there's damage done, it's damage done now. There's no taking it back. So like you said, own it. And that's what I'm doing.
Yeah. So. Hey, let's pull this up again. Some Warren said earlier, Warren said, you guys are the voice of the real people. Our hearts should never be hidden. And that's what makes your show special. So I just want to say, appreciate that. That's very true. And very much, I was actually talking to my wife about that earlier, this afternoon, is that there's just something different about what we're doing here. And, but it is a lot. I mean, the way we do this, we've found the ways to make this easier. We found the right software. we have a workflow that my assistant goes through as well. She's actually away on maternity leave right now, so I'm doing it. But still, it's one of those things where we've got a better flow. We're doing this much more professionally, and it's been a learning process for us. Neither of us knew anything about doing this. We hit go live. We just did it. So
but that's what I love about you guys. That is real. So it's not like we rehearsed 10 times in front of the mirror and we're basically reciting from the script that's right here on the left side.
Because I don't know what you're talking about, Esther. We don't do anything like
scripted. Oh, sorry. That was DJ's line.
Did I just put that in front of the camera? I'm sorry.
It's different. The script says we were on a break.
No, but it's this show, because there is a differentiation. I mean, there are going to be some that are going to be just purely professional. That's
but it's okay. It's okay. Yeah,
exactly.
Out. So
but this one will always, I feel, will always be the unscripted one. All that good stuff. What you are going to see is, when getting it more professional, we're there are things we want to do to spruce this up without losing the spontaneity, the energy and everything else. Just to make things maybe a little bit more professional, like change up the intro a bit. We've got really, I think, good ideas on updating the intro and stuff. So it's going to be, it's good. It's good stuff coming. We just, So
let's read this from Lady of the Lake here. So just a little background. I've actually been mentoring some others as well outside of information technology, and I know it's my thing right now. It's what the Deej do. It's not the Doge do, the Deej do. That's what the Deej do.
Infidel.
So one of the things that I was able to do is spend some time with some aspiring artists and those kind of types of people. And one of the concepts we talked about was practicing in public. Of saying, okay, there's a notion of, you could do this privately and hope you get better, or you can put it out there in public and, practice in front of people. And that very much accelerates that, but it also gets people involved, gets, feedback about what works for you, what works for others, that sort of thing. So, so we're, as mentors, it's important. So she says, you're great mentors of value because you're real and awesome. I'm not even in IT, and I find so much value in these live streams. And so we're hoping to do a lot more of that.
That's an awesome compliment to you guys. So keep up the good work.
And I
just basically realized that because I missed you guys and I missed these live chats, because they for me are also like little check-in points to see if you are okay, or if we should reach out more, or so I just felt the need, like every other week while you were on a break, to just reach out and to go like, hey, are you still okay? Is everything good? When will you be back? I miss you guys. So I'm very happy to just get the opportunity to join live and just
well, and we always love having you, Esther. I mean, that's it's great. This is the format that we love the best, because there is the interaction, even if it's just through the chat. It's great to be able to have that, what interaction we can.
And we don't have the pressure of us or our guests trying to figure out what we're going to talk about today. We don't have to put together a 15-point presentation, the things we usually have to do. And so that's what I love about this format as well. And it's why this will always be a cornerstone of what we're doing for sure. But
and for me, it's the best. The next best alternative to the live meetings, where for me that was always about the networking and the drinks and the chats becoming personal with each other at the bar, because alcohol definitely helps.
Maybe too much, I don't know.
Well, that was the this is getting too personal part, but that's a whole different hashtag that we would have to get involved. So let's just skip that part. No, but this feels like the network chats or the casual personal, hey, how are you doing? And let's catch up. What are you doing these days? And what did you do on your break? And why didn't you share that with us? So stuff like that.
She really wants to know if we've got some secrets hidden away.
Well, and I do.
No, I just feel like I miss a little part of your life story now, Jeff. That's all.
It's all good. Yeah. And that's good that we have that level of vulnerability, I guess. And it's something that certain things that I've been thinking about, what to talk about, what not to talk about. And one of those is there's certain realities to 2020 that of course it didn't go like I thought it would. I mean, my goal for 2020 was actually to do a lot more things at physical conferences, because that's my jam. I mean, that's Esther, you and I've interacted with those.
That's Jeff, where you shine and you have this special glow around you.
So that is something that I was going to be doing a lot more of, and was kind of positioning towards that. And so when I decided to make the pivot and focus on the books and courses and stuff, it was good, but it just didn't have the same energy for me. And that's one of the reasons why I needed some time to refocus, but also there's some financial realities of this kind of stuff. I mean, people think that, oh, you wrote a book, you must be just raking in the dough. And let me tell you something.
I got news for people. Yeah. I wrote a book too, but that never was any help in any retirement plan whatsoever.
No. So I make enough to buy a box of wine. And so I tend to do that.
That's important right there. Come on.
Little cardboard dough.
Nice.
But honestly, it's one of those things where I knew as a strategy I needed to do something else. Not even a bottle. Just a Boda box. Yeah, that's right. But anyway, so there's some things that just as a need to continue on that we need to do in terms of this to keep this viable. I mean, it's not anywhere near the amount of overhead as most things can be when it comes to like starting a business or whatever. But the basic reality is that, as far as time and effort, I've had to put a lot more into this that I didn't put into other things. And so, from a direction standpoint, it is clear to me that I am needing to focus my time and energy more towards coaching and things like that. So, when you don't make money on a book, naturally the thing to do is to write another one. And so that's what I'm doing. So I've actually, during that time, during February, March, that whole time frame, I was already working on it. So it's when we took some time off, I was already in the process. But I wrote a book that's not for the IT audience in any way, shape, or form. It's more just for people that are wanting to explore being an entrepreneur, and there's an element of fasting with this as well. So it's more for a spiritual audience in that regards. But so it's connecting with me on that level. And so it's always a risk to do something that's just untested and I have no audience for, but that's kind of the direction I'm heading is doing a lot more with a lot of those entrepreneurial audiences I've been part of many groups for the last 3 years, to the point where I know just as many people in those, solopreneur, digital entrepreneur communities as I do in the IT communities. And so there's this kind of awesome synergy.
I was going to ask, are you cheating on us? But now he's bringing on synergy as well. Oh boy.
And the reality is dynamite.
Yeah. The cool thing about this is that I was recently reminding myself that I am a person that wanted to take what I knew and focus on that as a product for people.
Mm-hmm.
And IT people, it's an interesting thing to market to these days. There's a lot of things that I just didn't realize going into it, and a lot of butting my head against the wall for a long time, and got kind of caught in a lot of just cycles as far as that goes. That usually works in other kind of markets, but not in IT. And so
we're not an easy crowd.
No. And in fact, just the reality is that a lot of people are just used to, their company buying things for them, and they're not used to investing in themselves. And so I came to realize that's an uphill battle. Now, granted, I'm always going to be in that regards, because just as a coach, I can tell you that, the more I invested in myself with coaching, with books, with programs that are outside of the norm, soft skills, the more I invested in that, the more my income and my happiness took way off. The reason I'm able to just do virtually, no real quote unquote work for the last 2 years is just because I had built up so much from, being at that level. And so I always want to do that, but I've come to realize too, that there's a lot of folks out there that want to do more with, whether it just be starting a blog or whatever. There's a lot of other things too that are going to come into this, and this will be the platform for launching a lot of that. But that's a big part of it too. And so, Warren, just so a book on poo and manure, it could be interesting.
That's actually on me, because
there is an audience.
I grew up in the country and as a part of a farmer family, so I've already started that, so it's good.
So there's more to my story too, and I don't talk about it as much, but there's things like that too. So a lot of what I was hoping for is now kind of transitioning to a virtual place. So instead of me speaking on stages, now I'm embracing more of speaking virtually and getting more of that, and kind of being the I don't know, like the techno motivator. I don't know how to describe that, but being that voice of encouragement, like we're saying.
I still think that with the whole digital shift that we had last year, it's still a tough platform to have a good business model for.
Yep.
Money wise, simply said, because money still makes the world go round and definitely puts that food in your stomach. Whether we like it or not, whether we want to fight it or not, that's the reality that we have to deal with. To be honest. So I do understand a lot of people in IT that are focused on money and forget the heart, that you have to put your heart in it. And I love you, DJ, for making that shift and being bold enough to just shift your focus from that money perspective to the heart and follow what you are really passionate about, what makes you glow, what makes you shine. But I do understand that there has to be a business model for you to be able to keep putting that energy into what you love to do, and not have to worry about all the things around it, to make sure that you can't, like we know from Jeff as well, if there are so many worries around you, then you cannot put all the focus and energy into sharing your desires and your dreams. So no,
it's absolutely true. And if I become the technomancer, I love that.
So that's back to the dark office of Jeff.
Yes.
Awesome.
But I think there's certain realities too that the pandemic is something to this, but honestly, it was already in process for me, and so I've debated whether to go into this at all. But there's a point where I just realized that, and Jeff, you and I were talking about this privately a while ago, just in regards to, having been a consultant for nearly 10 years, actually, yeah, 10 years, April 1st would be, or April 10th, I guess, whatever is the technical date. But, yeah, so being in that role for so long, and now I'm barely doing any of that anymore. I mean, I'm down to, under 10 hours a week, actually under that at this point. And so the thought of going back into that full time is really difficult and painful for me. There's a level that I have to get back to. It's like a mindset shift. And so I'm already kind of in this, space that's more about sharing information instead of necessarily being the one to utilize information. And it's a different, shift. I mean, shift happens, it's,
yeah, but it's like you said, it's a shift of your mindset. So there has to be, I think, or at least I hope, or I want to believe that there's like, from commercial kind of terms, there has to be like a break-even point where non-profit sharing information just because you want to share your experiences from your heart and your drive to being able, like you say, to utilize it and to find a nice balance in those two.
Yeah.
So then the platform can become the enabler of you to share even more. So
yeah. So Jeff,
looking forward to that.
Yeah, me too. I mean, it's something where it's possible, and the systems and things that I've learned over the last few years are going to make that possible. But also, there's a level of diversity in terms of platforms and income that becomes possible as well too. So that you get systems working well and start delegating that to other people, and I can spend more time on content and doing that and doing what I'm gifted at and passionate about, called towards, that sort of thing. It becomes one of those, the more people are, well, I don't want to get too much into this. We did this on the show a couple of weeks ago, but just in those primary zones of functioning. And so we'll get into some updates on that too, I think, at some point. But
yeah, well, I explained it with my shift to in-person presenting to online presenting, where I had to explain to a lot of people that the reason why I invested heavily in all the technology that supports online presenting is that means that I can put trust in the technology to deliver the stream, and allows me to just focus on the content and not have all these extra worries about whether or not the lighting is good, or if people are staring at a black screen, and just hope that the message still comes across.
Yeah. And I think a big part of it too is your reach is extended. I mean, if you have to do everything on stage, or you got the travel, the time that takes up, and all of and we all, none of us want to do digital, 100%, at least I don't, 100% of the time. We like being with people, in front of people. But this extends the reach around the world. I mean, when I join, when I go off to the US WVD user group, and we get people in from all over the world, and and that happens in
wouldn't happen otherwise.
Yeah. So it's a good thing, and I'm not saying it's not, but it's all going to end up being a hybrid for the most part. But this digital stuff, I mean, it does allow us to be in places that we may not be able to be in otherwise. I've got 2 user groups today, one on the East Coast, one on the West Coast. What am I going to do? I can't clone myself.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
I definitely wanted to do at some point today too, is to kind of talk about some going back, but there was a point, right about the time we started doing this, actually, that I realized just exactly what you're saying, Jeff. Like I I appeared for a Citrix user group in, oh gosh, what was that? New York or something. I can't remember which one it was. But then I was also in front of a group in Arizona, and then right after that, or at some point in there, ended up presenting at E2 EVC in Europe. So Spain was where I was supposed to be, if I recall correctly. But so yeah, I just did that all in a day. I was like, that wouldn't even be physically possible, but it was like, wow, I can, I gave, 2 presentations and facilitated 3 discussions in different geographic areas all within a day, just because of, being the technomancer. Which, by the way,
I love that description.
Warren, you've inspired me that we need THRIVEcast trading cards.
Trading card? No. See, what I was going to suggest after reading that is like, we got to play some Dungeons and Dragons. I mean, that's just it.
Oh, I thought you were going for the bubble hats, but okay. Yeah. Trading cards, we'll Dungeons and Dragons.
So the funny thing about that,
she gets it.
Yeah. So the funny thing about this, I'll go back to my Star Wars thing. That actually came out of a character from a Star Wars role-playing game. And so, yeah.
I got to tell this story because I think it's hilarious. So, I mean, many years ago, before I was even married and stuff, we would play D&D, me and a bunch of friends. And one of my friends was playing a barbarian named Crunch. Crunch did not have the greatest of intelligence scores. And my friend is brilliant at this stuff. DM, we're walking through some caverns, and he goes, all right, you see this large chasm, 100 feet across. You have 4 bridges in front of you. Which one do you want to try first? And my friend immediately goes, the middle one. Let that sink in. Crunch took a long fall. It was, I mean, that is I will remember that moment forever because it was so perfectly timed. I mean, it was just beautiful.
Oh, that is awesome.
And we all kind of did the same thing. Like, we sat there like, the middle, what? Oh. Good times.
The emojis don't show up the same way on the screen, but that's all right. Yeah, crazy times. I mean, it's just kind of crazy. Yeah. So I want people to think about this, the people that are attending live, or even if you're viewing the recording and want to leave a comment or whatever. But 2 things. One, if you had a favorite episode from our last season, and 2, and not just over the 2020 or 2021, but the last 365 days, what was your biggest win of the last year? And so think about that, put that in the chat, and we'll highlight that. I just realized I need to pull up a email. I actually asked this of the people that are on the Thrive IT email list, and I actually did get some responses, and so I'm going to pull those up. But yeah, so Jeff, any favorite things or big accomplishments that you had? Yeah, big wins.
Yeah, now you're putting me on the spot.
All right, while you're thinking about that, our friend Thomas Link says he's glad that this has been able to widen his mindset to hear more out of the experiences and mindset from U.S. and international EUC friends. We are we do more or less the same things, but in a different way, and have the same challenges. That's very useful to have this community, and that we've made it so much rich with content arrangements and so on. So yeah. So it's great to have people like that.
So for me, two things. One is getting through the past year and a half or so. And that's a huge win on my side. I'd say the other win is me reaching out to DJ when I did way back in February, March. Mm-hmm. And now we're here. I mean, those are two big wins, one on a personal level and another on professional level here. And, just being able to create something like this that people enjoy and are getting things out of. It's great.
Yeah. So, Leo says, hi, Jeff. Actually addressed it to you, Jeff, which is kind of funny. My biggest victory in the last 12 months has been taking care of myself and protecting my family to avoid getting COVID-19. I feel blessed by this. So yeah, that's, we
I didn't win that. No, I
didn't, yeah. So I thought it was funny, but, Jeff tried to set a record, but,
set a record. With what? What did I do?
Number of times being out sick. Let's put it that way. Yeah.
Let's not go there.
So Esther, how about you?
So for me, it was basically two things. First of all, it was to discover the strength of the support system of this community. That how selflessly we just made sure that everyone within the community was okay. And I think one of the things of that is that we started to learn to be more open and more vulnerable about how we are dealing with this pandemic crisis, whatever you want to call it, challenge. And at a more personal level, as a consultant, I've been doing a lot of traveling, spending a lot of nights in hotels due to tone down on the traveling hours. And I got to spend a full year 24/7 with my girlfriend, which was a whole new experience after 13 years having a relationship, because the last couple of years we have had so many hobbies or different interests that we both wanted to give each other space to explore that. But it was really nice to rediscover each other again and our shared interests. And it also made me realize how much time I lose with traveling and with being in a hotel and not having like basic, simple favorite things, like your favorite coffee mug that's not there in the hotel or So I feel very blessed that I now have the opportunity to work from home. And yes, I do miss the social interactions. I do miss the fact that I cannot go and travel to friends and have a game night, because those are the re-energizing moments that I really miss and that I discovered I need very much. But I also am very blessed that I did get to have more time to focus and to refocus on finding a work-life balance, even though that is a utopia. Still, it felt still, there is no real balance, but at least I am more aware and more conscious about the fact that I need to plan for just relaxation, for me time, and not feel bad about that or use the excuse of being in a hotel as me time, because that's not me time.
Remember those. Yeah.
That's very true. See, now my wife's the opposite. She's like, when are you traveling again? Is that open? Can you do that now? Can you go?
I may or may not have heard that.
We've had those moments too.
Oh, you're still here? Really? Oh.
Okay. Yeah. So it's I'll be similar in that regards. I realized pretty recently that I've not been on a plane since January of 2020. What's significant about that is this is the first time that I've gone more than about a year not being on a plane since I believe 1998.
Yeah.
Which is substantial. I don't talk a lot about this on this channel. I've talked about it elsewhere, just about, travel and whatnot, but man, I traveled a lot. When you have the whole, the status thing with the Marriott, I still keep it right here to remind myself, when you got the card, it's like the
wow.
lifetime, it's like a metal card, man. It's like,
yeah,
it's hardcore, but that's how much travel I've done over the course of my career, my consulting career, especially. So especially I can speak. But it's strange to note that like that as an achievement is kind of weird, or a blessing. I didn't ever think I'd be like that. Now, the funny thing is, like, when I started traveling less, when I started tapering down back, about 3 years ago, I started missing the status with that. Like the
perks,
it's easy to miss, right? It's like, now some of that, like I said, I'm locked in for life with hotels, so but I don't have to fly to go to a hotel. I can just go down the road. Upgrade me, yeah. But I mean, yeah, you miss first class flight and things like that, like all the perks and stuff like that, and you feeling special. And I realized that's part of it. That's a big piece of this. Like, sometimes we have things in our life that make us feel special, but they're not things that are fulfilling. They're just things that are like, just kind of lessen the punishment, so to speak. It's just like, okay, yeah. So you're not getting upgraded to first class anymore, but what did it take to get there, man? How many nights did you have to stay in a hotel room? It's just like literally like 3 years worth, I think, is what it takes to get that status. That's just in one hotel chain, folks. That's a lot of hotel room stays. And so, I don't miss that at all.
No.
So let me check the chat here and see if anybody else wants to say anything about favorite episodes or blessings or things like that have gone on, wins for the year. I did want to say though, for me, there was a lot of things that were very interesting about last year in ways that I didn't anticipate. Obviously, a lot of us had challenges and whatnot, but it was really a lot of more introspective time. And so there was two books that I published last year, the Be a Citrix Hero and Just Do This. And the thing about Be a Citrix Hero was fun. It was good to put out and learned a lot, self-publishing a first book. You learn a lot of things that flow into the second one. But what I wasn't ready for was a lot of emotions coming back up. I mentioned this in episode 3, but when I originally wrote the manuscript for what became Just Do This, I'd just been fired. I'd just been let go because of content that I'd created. It was a very dramatic kind of a time in that regards, that it was very difficult for me to want to be vulnerable and put that out. And so I found in the process of this that I just had some latent stuff that was coming up. And it was tough at times, like to kind of cope with that, I guess you could say, like, or just maybe not cope, but realize that I was projecting anger elsewhere and frustration elsewhere. And fortunately it wasn't anything like damaging or awful, but a lot of things I would get frustrated about.
Just annoying.
Like I was not the kindest person to my editor, which, I mean, that happens, I guess, but
that's what happens from that lifetime experience of getting instant upgrades in hotels. Yes, you become not the nicest guy to your editor.
It's true. It's true. Don't you know who I am? But yeah, so it was a weird thing to do a book that was literally like put together 3 years prior and then finally putting it out. But the cool thing about that, what made it really a win, and it doesn't matter how many have sold. And I'll be honest with you, I don't even know what the number is, how many have sold. It's not a ton, it's just not a thing anymore. We don't do books that much anymore. So it's not that much of a thing. But I will say that the feedback and what it's meant to people, and knowing that I'm part of, potentially changing people's family trees, just the way that, focusing on certain things in my career changed my life and the way I looked at things, and the way what I was able to do with my family, get us out of debt, get us more secure. All these kind of things came from things I'm now able to teach other people. And so that was the big healing part of that is saying, okay, it's not just about the content per se, it's about the intention behind, the why behind it, and the bigger part of that. And so it makes any successes or failures kind of irrelevant in that regards. It's all success at that point. So yeah, absolutely. That's a win, baby. That's a win.
Yeah.
One of the things I think back on is, it was either at the beginning of January, I think it was actually before, I had written a whole blog about how, I was going to get back and more involved in the community and things like that. I was going to be at show, just whatever it takes. And it all went to hell with the pandemic. But in a way, I have satisfied that, just not in the way I envisioned. So it's interesting looking back at that. I've got a boatload of money waiting, e-credits, whatever, with Delta for all the flights I had to cancel and stuff. I had a bunch of stuff already booked and ready to go. And
but I've got some that actually, I think the credits with United and whatnot actually expired. So yeah.
Oof.
I know that one. Yeah. Gotta watch that.
Yeah, no, Delta's been real good about all of this as far as I'm concerned. It's so I've checked it too. It's like sometime in 2022. So
yeah, you had me thinking about it, like, why are you flying Delta? It's because Northwest was bought by Delta years ago. Duh.
Yep.
And I'll tell you this, I'm not a big fan of United anymore. So I've spent way too many nights literally sleeping in O'Hare, and I do not like sleeping in a airport terminal.
Yeah. The funny thing is, that's actually why I started using United over other carriers back in the day, is that I was, but anyway, it's funny how things work out sometimes, where it's just like, sometimes it's just where you fly or where you're located, whenever it can be very frustrating.
I mean, I'd rather fly, because I always have to do a connection from out of Grand Rapids, unless I drive to Detroit or Chicago. But I would rather connect through Detroit or Atlanta than take the chance of going through O'Hare. And it's just, a lot of it is just weather. I mean, it's not necessarily United's fault. It's just the airport is in a really bad place.
Yeah, but there's also some things about O'Hare and the way United handles O'Hare that I have problems with too. I've even brought some of those up.
Yeah.
But I'm not any kind of status anymore, so they don't care about me anymore.
I still have I still have status. See, like Delta's pushed it out.
Silver? Get out of here.
Oh man.
But yeah, so the whole life changing and getting into just different ways of dealing with, well, not dealing with, but like serving the community, unexpected ways of doing that. Yeah, it's been great. So I was going to move on to favorite episodes of the last season. I mean, we might all have the same favorite episode. I mean, and we can't say Esther's episode because she's, she might hear us. But
say what?
Should we expose by number of views the top episodes? I don't know if that's a good thing to do or not.
No, I don't want to do that.
The problem is it's not fair, because there's some of these are older, some of these are different. It's like,
Well, because especially those, you look back and you rewatch those older ones. I mean, it's like you said, we were learning.
The funny thing about this is that one of the most downloaded episodes, though, or watched episodes, is the one we did at our 6-month point. So it's actually one of the more popular episodes because we had a bunch of people on. It was a lot of fun, and it's kind of weird. One of those weird ones that just I don't know why. It just has gotten a lot of attention. And then of course, Mark Templeton.
That was legend.
Yeah, and I'm really excited to get this edited out for my personal podcast, which is actually called Better Than You Found It. I'm going to be relaunching that next month. Nobody knows that yet, so don't tell it. No, kidding. But that's going to be so him and I recorded an episode. We're going to be kind of talking even more about some of the things, but we're not going to talk about the tech side of things, obviously. But we had a great conversation, and I can't wait to bring that up for everybody. So you
and,
can go.
And to be clear, he's talking about Mark Templeton now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Not me.
Oh,
whatever.
Yeah, no.
Are you now asking for more personal conversations, Jeff? Because we can start a whole podcast on that one.
At this point, I'd be up for anything.
You got to do like
you're just looking for an
NPR
excuse
style,
to cry for like an hour in the corner, and we'll just call it
True
a podcast.
Confessions.
You guys have totally found me out. Damn it, I can't hide this stuff anymore. Okay.
Oh yes,
So,
he has his
it all
moments
started
before.
when I was born. Before I was born in my mother's
Jeff, we haven't
womb.
started yet.
Oh, sorry.
Focus, Jeff. Focus.
That's a Tony Robbins thing, by the way. That's a really hilarious story, actually. But actually, there was just something about that interaction, and Mark still talks about it. He's mentioned to me several times now that moment where he said it was like coming back on stage all over again.
Yeah, you could see that.
It was really fantastic, and so that's been great. And then, honestly, I don't know if you guys have noticed that it's kind of becoming more and more okay to do this kind of thing, which is great. And so, the number of people that see this, doesn't even matter. It's the fact that people know we're doing it. That's actually a very important thing. Now, obviously,
because I also totally understand that people get so get like the whole digital experience fatigue, that they are tired of having to choose between 4 different meetups every night because there's just too many digital content right now.
We're
so
overlapping one right
fine.
now. Yeah, it is kind of but yeah, I mean, and making it a different experience is, I think, a big part of it. Having a different conversation is unlocking a lot of things. I've been seeing more and more, even companies starting content that's like, well, let's just talk about you as people, And so it was great to be. I was on Experts Exchange podcast, for example. Got a link here somewhere for that. But yeah, that was let's see. Yes, I can pull that up right now. So that is thrive-it.com/EE soft skills. You can go listen to that podcast episode. But that was a great thing too, to start having these conversations that aren't just about that sort of thing. So on that podcast, I was actually able to talk more about like how I grew up, which is different. Story for another day, maybe. But yeah, the fact that we're having these conversations and that these things are coming about and kind of becoming more and more okay, even for companies to do in their stuff. So I'm loving that for sure.
Yeah, I've been, truthfully, I've been playing around in my head, just doing a podcast where I can just sit there and talk about, whatever, kind of a geek out session type thing, because I've got stuff I'd love to show off. I mean, not just my Mandalorian helmet. I've got a lot in my dust puppy. It's all sorts of stuff that, it's fun stuff. It's fun to talk about. And, I think so. And even if nobody watches it, it's just fun to do. So,
So our friend Lady Lake had a few wins the past year, but most notably becoming a business owner and starting a podcast. And so that was something that it's cool to see. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love mentoring people. It's so much fun. It's kind of great to be able to just be that catalyst point, unlocking things that are already there, and being that, well, it's a coach does, right? Enhances. Actually, a word that was brought up to me on Wednesday that I'm going to start using is amplify.
Oh, I love that.
That I amplify people's successes. I was like, oh yeah, I like that. Yeah, always good. I'm trying to think of other episodes that have really just been impactful for me. Warren's episode.
Yeah.
That was episode 26.
I mean, one of my favorite, just from a personal standpoint, was when we had Ron on, because Ron, in the last 10 years especially, has been a very powerful influence, mentor in my life career. So
yeah, the Carl Webster's episode was fantastic. Learning more about his background, that was awesome. To hear how he used to be a drunken drug addict tuba player and is now a titan of the end user computing community. But yeah, Tarkin says the missing out of in-person events triggered an insane amount of digital versions of any form of voice and touch points. It was extremely difficult to land these meaningfully. But you rock. We appreciate that. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, and I think it's hard, especially tech events, right? I mean, it's hard to do and to make it engaging. So
the funny thing is, in November of 2019, I actually have a whole structure of, I wanted to do a virtual event for well, I have the domain, so I can say it. I wanted to do an EUC summit. So I wanted to do that. Never materialized, but one of the things I have been investing in is some software that allows you to just do a at-scale conference using Zoom.
Oh wow!
So some people have been able to benefit from this. I first saw this. Wow, I want to say around April or May of 2020. With Tony Robbins, or maybe it was before that with a different event. But anyway, so I've been to several of these events with this team, and I already knew the team from other things that I'd done. And so I was like, okay, guys, you need to release this. I know this is software you're using to do this. We're talking an event where you have, let's say you have 40,000 people. And now obviously, from a studio and production standpoint, that becomes a different animal, but Tony had this entire wraparound studio where everybody's a bunch of people's photos were all up there, live Zoom, they're all there. And so he can see thousands and thousands of faces. Well, that's what the software is allowing them to do, is just kind of game Zoom in a way that allows you to do this. And so I'm happy to report that is software I now have access to. And so
now you are my BFF.
Yeah. So we can now do a worldwide event with, multiple speakers and things like that, but we can also do breakout rooms into Zoom. And so we can have these discussions that are going on and that sort of thing. So we can do things now that are kind of the normal virtual event is so bland as far as that goes. And it's bland because all you're doing is consuming more content. Well, with these, you can encourage people to be on camera along with you. And so it's much more like it would be live. And so people are aware of each other and interacting like they would. And so I'm really excited about it. And so that's something where really all we need then is just an excuse to do it. So that's something that I'm going to be working on in the next, I don't think I'm doing quite enough. So I'm going to just stack that on.
You might just need just a small break to be able to find time for that.
Oh, no, not another break. Come on.
We were on a what?
All right, Esther, you're out, man. You're suggesting a break. Come on.
It was just a wild idea, thinking outside of the box.
Yeah, but it is one of those things where that is something where I think it's just going to be a great thing to be able to have more interaction and less just straight up content. I'm good with content. Me personally, my vision for this would be much more of career and personal development, much less of the technology, because the technology stuff's covered. So we'll see what happens with that. It's very early developmental stage. Something that and Jeff and I talked about early on the development stage with all this, in terms of developing a community, which is the other thing that we're potentially going to be looking at as well, of saying, how can we just do this in a more a significant participatory thing without having yet another dang Slack channel. And so
I like that one.
Yeah. So in the next, if this continues to go well, then we'll do that. There's certain things that we can do once our subscriber count is higher. So obviously we want to encourage people to hit the subscribe button. It's important. We need to get to a certain level with YouTube before they unlock these features for us. So there's a couple things like that have to happen. But as we go along,
post it, put it up there. Warren, your wish is our command. The week of June 13th, I have not settled on the exact day time, but she's going to be on.
Yeah. Laura Whalen will be on. Yeah, it'll be awesome. Actually, I think enough of them have signed agreements at this point to say more of them. So we know that. So Warren on next week, Rory on the week after that. Bob Jansen has scheduled the week after that.
Cool.
You're going to notice a trend. There are a few Dutch in the group that we've.
Yeah, but that's something that's almost unavoidable these days, especially with this whole digital revolution. We are now able to definitely.
That's all there is to it.
And we're going
to world of troop waffles.
Boz will be on. So I think what we'll do is we'll just have to make it a hybrid virtual event. So we'll just ship ourselves over to the Netherlands. We'll get everybody there, and we'll just project it from there. So we'll have our event physically, and then we'll just have it virtually for everyone else. I think that's we'll just have to do it that way.
That would probably be the cheapest solution.
So we've got Bob,
and that would definitely win over the Dutch. Yeah.
I know I'm forgetting somebody. But before
Elaine.
No, the week so after Bob is Bass Fan Camp. So it's like back-to-back Dutch, and then we've got the video gaming thing going on. And I'm going to pronounce his name probably totally wrong, but DJ and I have both known this guy for a long time, and he's always been kind of in I don't know, always had my back in ways, not like, I don't know, but Elaine Asaf, he's going to be on, and if I probably just butchered the name, so I apologize.
I'm bad.
And then after that will be I said, we got to go through and get the document signed and find a day and time, but then Laura. So
yeah. So one of the questions we always ask, if people like have other suggestions to be on, we don't do that. We're also going to be looking to do some additional collaborations with other YouTubers and people like that too. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
And one thing I do want to say is, this doesn't have. It doesn't have to be. How do I want to say this? Public people, right? I mean, if you're watching and I don't know how to say it appropriately, but we want everybody, right? Because everybody's got a unique experience whether you're out in the community blogging or, you're the silent person that's just watching and reading and learning. We want everybody. Well, except maybe Nick again. That might be too much cat videos. If I hope that makes sense. I mean, we are
just like totally went away, but yeah, go ahead.
What did you do, DJ?
So I'm actually setting up for showing everybody the studio here because I don't think I've done that in a while. I was gonna do a cat video, but then I realized the cat like went away. So, but it's the same camera, so I can do this. So, so you guys can see this is the THRIVEcast command center right here.
You got to make yourself the big picture. Right now, you're just a thumbnail, basically.
My bad.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah, multitasking.
So yeah, this is us right here.
Nice.
I say, well, you can't look at the camera.
Can I do that?
Ooh, whoa. Inception.
Yeah, so this is the kind of things we're doing. Like this is this is what it's been like all this evolution of equipment and all this kind of stuff. Just kind of insane that we're at that point, but that's where we are.
Now I want you to all take a look, all those screens and everything, and does anybody know what that actually means? DJ has a secret. He's actually Batman. And that's the Bat computer. I thought it was funny. Come on, people.
It was.
That was my dad joke, I guess.
So the Bat Dad videos are hilarious, by the way. But
oh yeah, they are. Yeah. Those are.
So yeah, going back to like 1991.
There was a commercial where like somebody got hurt or ate a Snickers and he goes, "I'm Batman." Who are you? I'm Batman. Sorry.
Je suis Batman. That was my first learning French was the French version of the Tim Burton Batman back in 91. Yeah. So I'll always think of that.
That was 89, dude. Batman.
Well, I learned in 91. I'm saying.
Oh, okay. Who are you? I'm Batman.
Je suis Batman.
And I remember because I was there with a friend on opening night. Oh my God, like the entire crowd just erupted when that. And then when the Batmobile was first on, everybody's cheering and good times.
Yeah, good times. Yeah. I wish that we could do certain things, and we can't do them live, obviously. We've experienced this, that you can get away with more doing it as a submitted video. Well, like live, we've had streams shut down if we do the slightest little thing, like so we've got to be careful with that kind of thing. I would love to do like a video night. So this is something that as a private community, I would love to have an off YouTube community where we could do things like that. We're working on it. Awesome. It's like, but it really does mean that, we need the interest, and that becomes a lot of infrastructure too, as well. So yeah, it's going to be very important for people to keep sharing the videos. If it means anything to you, it's very important to share and go back through and watch some of the other stuff. Actually, just watching the content actually does a lot to boost our status with YouTube, actually. So but it's like a win-win. It's like we win because you're watching, and you win because you're watching.
And with that thought, I might just give you back the stage and slightly fade out, because I do feel some sleep deprivity.
Yeah, and are we gonna look at Esther and you're just.
Yeah, that's what I kind of figured. Am I still nodding or am I dozing off? I'm not entirely sure, but I definitely realized that I became very quiet. So
it's like, oh wait,
So I do apologize for the fact that for me in this time zone, unfortunately, it's a very late/early hour. So,
yeah.
So
the sun
thanks
quite coming
for,
up, but yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for being back, guys. Thanks for opening up the floor for me to crash this little party. And I'm so much looking forward to all the new content, the new ideas, and I know we're gonna have some really cool personal conversations. So
yeah,
absolutely
awesome.
Yes. So I'm definitely your number one fan.
Yay!
Talk to you soon.
Awesome.
We got to get something for that and send it to her.
Yeah, like a. Well, hey, Esther, hang on just a second.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go grab one of these. I'll be right back.
Oh, he
but in all
knows
seriousness,
that.
What's that?
Yeah, I was gonna say. Oh, he knows that now. I'm too curious to drop off.
Oops, wrong bag.
Oh. See.
But in all seriousness, for those that are listening with us live, that are watching afterwards,
well,
anything you can do to spread the word about the channel, and the website when we truly get that going up and running, that really helps keep all of this going.
Yeah. So the things that we're working on for international guests is to be able to do something we've been able to do with people here in the US, which is to give them stickers.
Oh, I'm crazy about stickers.
Yeah. So we're going to work on that. We think we might've found a way to do that in a significant way, but I had to share this because we've been looking for ways to do promotional things. And so Sticker Mule had this thing where it's like, here, try this service out, for a discount. And so I submitted our logo for a keychain, which is kind of cool.
Bring yourself up. No, make yourself big.
Oh yeah, make myself big.
Your frame big.
But it's kind of one of those. There's a little bit of a disturbingness to this, though. It's just not quite.
That might scare me off, DJ.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna have nightmares.
As cool as this is,
you might get in some legal
our number one
there.
fan, not number one enemy.
I could not believe that.
I was gonna say that's the one thing that is not helping me to get more excited about the
show. It's not all roses, folks.
I'm wide awake again.
And that's it. We've gone completely off the rails.
Yeah, I was curious if I should have shared that at all, but it's kind of one of those things. It's just too hilarious. It's like these things happen.
Thanks, Warren. You are totally correct. We should take that definitely serious. Yes.
Yeah, meatballs. We're talking about meatballs.
Meatball. That's right.
Oh, throwbacks. It's a thing about comedy. You got to kind of recycle things from.
But
the
now I
beginning
understand.
So, yeah.
I was going to say now I understand why you were talking about a private community.
Not that kind of private community, Esther.
When you start hearing the music, you're
going to start a whole new thing of rumors. And it was just that we were on a break.
Spread the rumors because that will get people to show up.
Definitely. Spice it up.
Spice it up a bit. Yeah.
Oh, good
Lord. It was so.
Now I'm interested in what kind of promo videos are going to be released.
Yeah, honestly,
we could get. All right. I may have to stop because I'm like getting in my head truly tasteless jokes. I don't know.
Oh, now I'm wide awake again.
Sorry.
So as I was saying, I'm getting very sleepy. I'm gonna slowly fade away to the background, drop off, give you back the stage, and stop being such a disturbance in the show. So, Thanks for giving me the perfect exit.
So next time you're in the US, I'm going to absolutely get you one of these keychains. They're going to be limited editions, very, very hard to find. Very few people will ever have one of these.
I can't imagine that. It's going to be a collector's item.
Just don't put it on eBay right away.
Right away.
Awesome. Well, I love you guys. I'm so happy that you're back, but this definitely is my moment to fade out.
Hi, Esther.
Esther, we love you.
Hi.
Hopefully you don't have nightmares.
Oh my goodness. Oh, jeez. Yeah, it's just like that. I mean,
what just
I
happened?
had something I was going to say. I had something for this, but alas, not this time.
God, that was
well.
great.
Oh, yeah. Actually, you know what we could do? We could have a Doge auction for this. You know, you could actually, you know, how many Dogecoin do you think this is worth? You know,
can we go to Bitcoin instead? Isn't that
what's that?
One coin, one chain?
The Dogecoin. I bid 5,000 Doge.
That just sounds cool. It does.
That does kind of sound cool. I mean, yeah. But yeah.
I'm trying to get into it. Come on.
Yeah, the Cryptonomicon thing. Yeah, it's all good. So yeah, I mean, so much fun. I love having fun. And trying to get things in before we, you know, invoke any, you know, standards and practices is always a good idea, right?
You realize we've been on for 2 hours now.
I do. 1 hour, 54 minutes. Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't realize this. Yes. Oh, and I love that people are hanging with us. It's just so much fun. We appreciate you guys making us part of your evening or morning or night. The fact that we're reaching
wherever you are in the world.
It is like literally it's crazy to think that we had people in Netherlands, Spain, Australia, California. I'm trying to think of who else. Well, obviously, and we're here other places in the US. But
with Nick.
Yeah. So we're reaching. Yeah. How can we do this otherwise? So that's a real blessing, and that's ultimately why, you know, it was inevitable. We had to come back. Yeah, we had to. Yeah. It's tomorrow. Warren is in Tomorrowland.
He's from the future, man.
That's right. Yeah, looking forward to.
What do you think Warren would do if I accidentally called him Kiwi? What do you think? What do you think would happen?
Called him what?
A Kiwi.
Oh, wow. Let's not go through that again. Yikes.
I learned that the hard way. Not to confuse the two.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember. I was set straight on that.
Well, yeah,
Warren, I'm just having fun.
You just made me realize that I have a shirt that I'm gonna have to wear.
Okay, come on.
Oh, yeah. Would that be wrong? Yeah, I think I'm gonna do it anyway. Well, you'll see. Stay tuned. If you're here in the US, that will be May 6th at 7 p.m. Central Time. Yeah, so stay tuned for that. So that's yeah. So you'll see what DJ wears to Warren's episode.
Oh man.
Oy, oy, oy. Well, guys, we appreciate you being with us. Jeff.
Final thoughts. Man. I don't think I need to do final thoughts.
Yeah, I was gonna say, haven't we had enough final thoughts to be final?
No, but yeah, it's great to be back. Thank you to everybody who showed up. Thank you for everybody who will be watching. Yeah, there's going to be some good stuff coming. So keep going, keep watching us.
Yeah, exactly. Make sure you subscribe, share, all that kind of stuff. Absolutely.
Yes.
All right. Yeah, cool. Well, thanks for being with me, and we'll see you next week, Jeff.
Sounds good.
Awesome. All right, folks. Well, hey, we do appreciate you being with us. This has been a great journey, a great discovery, and so much fun, which is necessary. You know, we can't just always have just boring not boring conversations, but we can't just talk about tech. We got to be people in IT. And so we've, like Warren said, Nick says, to the moon. Yeah, whatever. Well, actually, that'll make a great episode. I'll probably do some thoughts on that and figure out if we can do that. There's some, when you start doing certain content, it gets into seeming like advice giving. So there's some things I want to make sure I'm doing appropriately before I do a lot of that kind of stuff. But it's not like there's other forums that can't do it. So we might talk some cryptocurrency investing and some of the fun things that I've been doing. I've been using some investing bots and things like that that are doing some really awesome things on my behalf while I'm sleeping. So I'd love to share some of those things with you, but we got to get to the point of figuring out what's advice giving and what's just entertainment. And so we'll figure that out, and I'll let you guys know. But yeah, we do appreciate your time, attention, and being with us and being faithful. If you're watching this after the fact, thank you for watching a recording up until this point, because you just never know what's going to happen. But that's the fun of this, right? So stay tuned with us. We've got a great amount of content coming your way in season 2 of THRIVEcast, and a lot of other things we'll be doing with the channel. If you want to help us out, like I said, the best thing you can do, absolute best thing you can do, is to share this content with others so that they see it, they get inspired by it, they do the like button, the subscribe button, all those kind of things that are important in that YouTube fashion. But honestly, it's just most important that you get something out of this. And if there's ever anything we can do that is even better, let us know in the comments. We'll have a survey coming up here soon that'll kind of allow you to go deep in with some things that we can do to serve you better. So look for that. But yeah, thanks for being with us, and we will see you next week for another episode of THRIVEcast. Cheers, everybody. Oh, and I guess thank you for joining us for another edition of THRIVEcast. We truly hope you've enjoyed the experience and have learned a lot from it. Now, what we'd want from you next is to join us at thrive-it.com, where you can get subscribed to our multiple channels, get subscribed to our newsletter, and do more to get yourself to where you want to be in your career and your life in information technology. If there's anything we can do to help you, please give us an email at support@thrive-it.com. We'll see you next time.